All right, it's time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, obviously you guys would rather learn from wins than losses, but what were you guys able to take away from that game against the Steelers?
Yeah, obviously a lot to learn, and we need to do a better job in the second half of those ball games. Obviously the fourth quarter became a 2-score, then a 3-score game. When the game is in the balance, we have to play cleaner on all three sides of the ball.
All right, week 7, you're hosting Mike McDaniels and the Miami Dolphins. They're also 1-5 on the season, but as we know, record doesn't necessarily always reflect talent. So when you look at what they've done through the first 6 games, what are you seeing on tape?
Well, it's a very, very challenging scheme to go against, and from an offensive and defensive perspective. They've had leads in the fourth quarter of these games, so you know that they're getting out in front of teams. So the challenges that this offense presents are a lot, and it really starts with the speed that they have at running back, at wide receiver, and then Tua making great decisions in a very unique system. And I say unique in that I think they're the #1 shift in motion team. So the things that they do pre-snap are a huge challenge for your defense to stay on top of. Then on the other side of the ball, really good players at all 3 levels, and they can do a lot. They can blitz you, they can play coverage, man, zone, you name it. So it's really important that our group, our quarterbacks, our receivers see it clearly, and then obviously the run game is really important to identify the people that you're going to when you get multiple looks like they give you.
Let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. He's a guy that can give the ball away, but the Dolphins also are ranked 3rd in the NFL for red zone efficiency. So how do you contain him, stop him from getting downfield to prevent a position that they seem to thrive in?
Yeah, it's just the whole scheme that they have, it really presents a challenge because they use all 53 1/3 of the field. They can look down the field like you mentioned, and then he can check the ball down, but those checkdowns are to fast players with a lot of room with how they deploy their checkdowns. So it's a huge challenge. When they get in the red zone, you have to be ready, obviously, to stay with your rules. I think that's a big message for us this week when you're going against a team that can challenge you in so many ways pre-snap. You have to be really good with your rules post-snap.
Let's talk about their passing game. They have the experience in Jalen Waddle and the addition of Darren Waller as tight end, but they also have that young guy, Malik Washington. So in that group, what have they shown you, and what kind of a challenge is that for your defense?
Again, it goes back to speed. It really is speed. Obviously, Darren Waller's a big physical tight end, but he can run as well. I just think you see speed at all 3 levels of their offense, if you will, with the tight ends, with the running backs, with the wide receivers, and they have running backs that they can line up at receivers. So they really blur the lines in terms of what the positions are, but bottom line is that you're dealing with speed.
One of those running backs, Devon Achane, what makes him unique? What's different about him than maybe other running backs? You guys have a strong defensive run defense, so how does that challenge present itself in his regard?
Well, how they deploy him, I think they do a really nice job where he can really line up at any position. You can see him at wide receiver running wide receiver routes. They can turn and hand the ball in the wide zone. They can throw screens to him. Going back to that word, he has legit speed. I mean, he can really go. You see it on tape. So this is a game where our pursuit has to be great. You have to have 11 guys populating the football.
All right, now your offense, Dylan Gabriel getting his first start in Cleveland. He was hit more times, I'm sure you guys would have preferred, against the Steelers. So what's the key to making sure that doesn't happen, cleaning up that pocket for him, especially against Miami's defensive front and their linebackers?
Yeah, obviously we need to play a balanced football game, and we need to make sure that there's a really sound way of attacking their front. Again, like I mentioned, they do a lot, so there's multiple fronts that we can be up against, so identifying those fronts will be huge. And then the ability to play a balanced football game just from a standpoint of who we hand it to, what run schemes those are, and then when the opportunities present themselves in the pass game, we got to take advantage.
Miami's defense has had 6 takeaways in the last 3 games, most of them fumbles. So for you guys, I know ball security is always important, but is that stressed even more this week, knowing that they kind of have found a knack for that?
Without a doubt. I think they have 9 forced fumbles on the season. That's tied for 3rd in the NFL. It's been a huge point of emphasis for us, understanding that when teams are playing zone and you catch the ball, there's defenders that you can't see. So doing a great job of putting the ball away, using the proper technique is a major point of emphasis today.
Your offense is going to be tested by a guy you guys know well, Mika Fitzpatrick, back with the Dolphins. What does he do to their defense now that he's back there?
Great versatility. Obviously can play corner, can play safety, nickel, you name it. So they utilize him in a smart way where they can blitz him off of either edge. He can play coverage. He can play deep in the post. So you just see a versatile football player that we know really well.
All right, special teams unit, they have some strength in their return game. What does this matchup look like from your special teams unit versus theirs? Yeah,
again, the returners can really run. So our ability on kickoff and punt to leverage the football, tackle will be really important. And then just looking at, as the game potentially can be, weather, being great with our specialists in some of the elements.
All right, you're back at home. First time in almost a month. How eager are you guys to get back in front of the dog pound?
Yeah, very excited. We love being down at our place in front of our fans, the support that we get, how hard they make it for the opposing offenses. We can't wait to get down there.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Cam.